Here I am.
I haven't got the notification for it yet, but I found it.
You found it already? Good stuff. Good stuff for us. This is actually an interesting night we got coming up. A lot of stuff going on we got to get through.
That's true.
We already hit 8. Well, let's wait till we hit 10. Maybe 15.
Hold on.
Let's make this a big deal.
Stay on my part here. Hold on.
You're all right, Ross. We already have a lot of viewers.
There we go. 4 state. 9 minutes.
13, 14.
15.
Nope, not yet, buddy. There we go.
My job here is complete.
Your job is finished. 17 viewers. All right, let's go. Welcome to a special edition of Blunt Talk with Joey Blaze. Joining me tonight is Ross Collins.
Hey.
Ross, we got an announcement to make.
Yes, we do.
So, here's what's going down. October 18th and the 17th. Don't forget, there's 2 days of this. The Clash of York 2. We will be live for day 2 of Clash of York. Blunt Talk Media is getting together. We're going to be covering all 14 games at the moment for day 2.
That's right.
The plan is to have coverage wall to wall beginning Thursday, October 15th, with a special media night, followed up Friday night by a sneak preview of the games for Saturday. And then Saturday night, we're going to recap day 1, talk about the matchups for day 2. And when the plan is to go ahead from there and to proceed with coverage for day 2 of the tournament.
Yeah.
Along with a post-game show, wall-to-wall, Blunt Talk Media presents the Clash of York 2, October 17th and 18th. We will be there for the games on the 18th. Well, I don't know if anyone's covering the 17th yet, but we'll see. But we can guarantee you right here, we will have the October 18th games at Clash of York.
The money day.
Money Day, day 2.
The day that matters.
Mm-hmm. We're going to cover all 14 playoff games. We're excited about that. It's going to be awesome. We're really looking forward to it. First tournament and 9-man we've gotten to cover this year, since Worlds at least. You forgetting Worlds was back in January.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the last 6 months or so, been kind of wild.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it gets crazier at the Clash of York. October 17th and 18th. We'll be there for the 18th. Blunt Talk Media will be live. We're excited. It's going to be lit. It's going to be legit. And you know what? While we're on topic, let's just keep going. Welcome to Uncut Blunt Talk. We're talking about Washington County now. We're done with York for the moment. That's the announcement. Share that to Washington County real quickly, Ross.
Yeah.
As we begin the Washington County portion. But to let you all know, Blunt Talk Media, we got Clash of York, October 17th and 18th. We'll be there for day 2 on the 18th. It's going to be lit. It's going to be legit. There's 15 teams right now, all going for the prize. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. York, Pennsylvania, we're coming for you once again. Clash of York 2, October 17th and 18th. Day 2 coverage. We'll be live. Day 1, we'll be actually covering Washington County, some games that day, as well as another semi-pro game.
I'm pretty sure Warriors played the day before that.
You do. You guys got a game against Pure Chaos. Speaking of the Washington County Flag Football League, it's that time again, Ross. How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I didn't play in Washington County, though.
There you go. Well,
on Saturday, I ended up working at my shed lot. If anybody needs a shed, CNA Sheds in Jefferson, Maryland.
With me.
Shameless plug. Yep, I had the little boy with me and everything.
Hey, there you go, buddy.
Had him out there sweeping the sheds and stuff.
There you go.
Putting him to work.
Good job, Maddox. Good job.
Yeah, my weekend was good. If we're talking about strictly Saturday right now, though, that's what I did.
Yeah, Well, no talk about Sunday. We know what happened Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get back to Sunday next week
yeah.
when we do a special episode. Well, when I do a special episode of Keystone Corner.
True.
Shout out to the KFFL, but we're going to take off KFFL this week. We're all about Washington County tonight. Welcome to the show once again. I'm Joey Blaze, your host, with Ross Collins. What's going down this evening? Let's talk about what went down.
What was the first game of the day, Jay?
Yes, sir. Spartans and Pure Chaos. And I'll tell you, Donnie Brown and company.
I'll give it to him, man. I thought that was going to be a much closer game.
I thought so, too. It surprised me.
Holy moly.
I seriously thought that the Spartans were going to struggle against Pure Chaos. But Pure Chaos, once again, on offense, is just pure chaotic.
It was chaotic.
It's just something needs to give there. I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to be upfront. That offense was a disaster from the beginning. Z-Man could not get anything going. I don't think Z-Man is the answer at quarterback. I understand he's an 8-man quarterback coming to 9-man, but not every 8-man quarterback coming to 9-man is Chris Boone. I'm not sure he's the answer right now. There was a drive that bothered me in that game where on first down it was Z-Man. And then on second and third down came Houston. And fourth down they put Devin in. And they kept Devin in the rest of the game. And I'll be honest, I'll be upfront. I just think Devin right now is the better option for Pure Chaos. I mean, he's got the 9-man experience down. He can move in the backfield. He pulled it together late. You saw firsthand what Devin did on Sunday against us up in Keystone. He rallied the bees together late in the game to win.
Yeah.
He stepped it up. He had a big grown-up moment. It was a big victory for the Bees, and I think Devin is the answer quarterback for Pure Chaos. But that being said, the real story is the Spartans. The Spartans are looking legit right now.
I don't know why we're even talking about that. Spartans. What was the final score of that game?
34-0, Ross.
Yeah, that's bad. That reminds me of the. Here's the thing. What it reminded me of personally was like the Warriors when we first started out. But at least we had like one experienced 9-man person on the team when we first started out. And that was like it. The rest of us were just starting
Keith
to learn
Cameron,
9-man.
Keith
Pure
Cameron
Chaos
played
does
for my
not
dad
have
back
that
in the day.
issue. They have a bunch of experienced people over there.
They do. They got Devin. They got BJ. They got Houston.
You got to find
Markel.
what works for you and go with that. Is what I can say with that. But
Yeah.
anyway, Spartans 31?
34-0.
34-0.
Don Brown's biggest margin of victory in his coaching career to this day.
Good job, Spartans. I don't even have anything bad to say about them. Good job.
They came out and played ball.
mean-
Keenan came out and played. That might have been his coming out party. I think this could be a turning point for the Spartans.
Here's the thing, too, with the whole shrinking of the team, people going here, there, and everywhere, you get rid of... Sometimes when you get rid of the excess weight, you start moving a little bit faster and better. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's hard to tell. Spartans are hard to judge right now, but good. I mean, as far as Saturday, good stuff.
I 100% agree. The
They were
Spartans...
not playing games.
They
I
weren't.
like it.
I liked it, too.
I like it.
The Spartans did excellent. We'll have the games later on in the week on YouTube. I've been very slow this week with actually editing. I've been busy with work and everything else. I'm going to try to get to them as soon as I can, but I promise I'll have them out very soon. Looking forward to seeing how the Spartans do next week. We'll look into that in a moment.
What was the next game of the day?
Second game of the day was Misfits, right?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Misfits, yeah, you're no.
You're supposed to be fact checking this
It's
stuff,
Misfits over X Dogs 33-7.
I'm pretty sure that was the second game of the day.
Mm-hmm. And this one just wasn't close.
No.
X Dogs don't look like the X Dogs right now.
And the Misfits are taking no prisoners. They're just, I mean, that was like a whole different Misfits team. Almost.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to say whole different, but you know what I mean.
They brought in a lot of help from Gusto
Clearly, when
and
you switch quarterbacks and a couple other people here and there,
Bob
it
Moore
kinda
came up to
turns-
Washington
kinda
County
turns
this
into a
week.
whole different team, but like, yeah, Regan over there playing no games. I like it too, though.
It's hard to tell what we're going to see come playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, I said in the beginning, I felt like Tay wasn't the final quarterback. I mean, maybe Bob was there for a week. Maybe he's there come playoffs. We'll see. I don't know what Regan's up to, man.
So all you gotta do in this league is make an appearance in the regular season. You're eligible for.
You're eligible automatically. He's in. So we'll see, man.
Speaking of that, if any mouth guys want.
I mean, everybody's a free. Let me tell you my philosophy when it comes to recruiting. As far as I'm concerned, everybody's a free agent that's not playing on a team.
Yep.
Anybody can come in any moment to play.
Yep. But anyway, back to Spartans X Dogs.
You mean Misfits X Dogs? I think you got the Spartans on your mind, Ross.
Nah.
I
mean, I'll give them credit for Saturday, but that's about where I am.
Okay.
They did play a pure chaotic team, so. But anyway, Misfits over X Dogs.
Yeah, this just wasn't a close game.
Yeah, I wish it would have been. I'm still rooting for X Dogs, man. They got to figure some stuff out over there. Younger talent, I don't know. I'm not one to. X Dogs don't really speak on themselves, so I'm not one to speak on them either, so.
I think what they need is to get the dogs back.
Yeah.
I mean, last year we.
The bald-headed combo.
But honestly, though, I'm going to be upfront. X-Dogs had a lot of close games last year.
They did.
I think every game they played was close last year, with the exception of the Brunswick game and the ADR games.
So far this year.
Blown out by Misfits. 2-score loss to the
They
Warriors.
stuck around with
Blown
us.
out by Broadax.
Our game is one of those where the final score didn't really reflect the game, but.
Oh, yeah, I watched a little bit of it. It was an interesting game.
Yeah, they still got dogs over there. I'm still rooting for them, man.
It's hard not to root for the
I
X-Dogs.
think at the end of the day, playoff time, they'll still be up there in the fight, but we're not pure chaotic, I can tell you that.
Pure chaos, he's learned how to count.
Yeah. So, that being said, with what's going on right now, I just feel like X-Dogs are a sleeper in November.
That's what I'm saying, too.
They are not a team. They're not a team that you want to draw in the first round. They could sneak up any moment.
So Misfits, they seem to have kind of a different roster every week, but at playoff time, that kind of plays into your favor because everybody's eligible.
You show different looks throughout the season.
Right.
Remember how AFN did in the spring of 18. Some weeks you had Trail.
Yeah.
Some weeks you had Dante. Some weeks, I can't remember who the other quarterback was anymore, but they just rotated a lot of guys back there. I remember that. A lot. And they just showed different looks every game. And then come playoffs, the talent showed up, and they won it. Spring 18. No, Sean, not this year. Everybody makes playoffs this year, buddy.
Yep. It's one bracket.
Yep. It's one bracket this year, Sean. Moving on now to the third game of the day. Ruckus 21, Broadax 14 in overtime. Game of the day.
It was good.
Possibly one of the best of the season so far. This was an epic battle.
She was here watching it. She was texting me going, you need to turn this on. It's an interesting game. This game
Yeah.
getting interesting.
We talked in the off-season about the big changes that went on with Ruckus and everything else, and I never would have expected the team they fielded on Saturday to just come out and beat Broadax, who...
They wanted it more, man.
Yeah. And you know
Clearly,
what?
They wanted that win more.
That's what I've noticed about Ruckus all season, is that
You want to talk about a team that's been losing but keeping games very interesting.
but you got to remember, they were playing good during Corona season.
Yeah.
Like back when we were playing the fairgrounds,
Yeah.
like they came out and they beat the Spartans by 4 touchdowns twice in scrimmages with only 12 to 16 guys and randoms they picked up from other teams. Like Dustin and them just find a way. They find a way.
You want to talk about a sleeper team?
Ruckus is a sleeper
Maybe
team.
not this week because they just beat Broadax, all that hoopla, but that's a team you never count out either.
Oh yeah, 100%. I just feel like in this game though, it was 14-6 at one point in the game. Broadax was up 14-6 before Ruckus scored. Kind of like the same thing that happened to us on Sunday. We had the lead.
Yeah.
Defense caved in a little bit because something happened, and then next thing you know, the upset occurred.
Yeah.
In this case, Ruckus prevailed over Broadax. Marty just moved. Marty's been playing that position really well this year for them on terms of moving the ball. Like, you got to think, 21 points against that Broadax defense. He shredded them. And, you know, that style of quarterback works. I've seen it before. I remember watching Justin Fox do the same thing, running around on that Broadax defense. You got to wonder, is Broadax's defense, are they just not athletic up front? Because they've had the problem for years where they can't seem to cover dual threats. I noticed that problem years ago. I remember a game where Coley put up yards on them playing quarterback.
Yeah.
Something you got to wonder about Broadax going forward. But Ruckus right now, they got something going on. The Orangemen aren't dead. I was about to pronounce them dead after the burials against Warriors and Showtime.
Right.
But I think they're alive and well. We'll see in the power rankings.
I'm sure those are still some doo-doo. We're moving on.
Here we go again.
Let's talk about Broadax for a minute. Let's not talk about Ruckus winning. Let's talk about
Broadax losing?
Losing to Ruckus. What happened there? I wasn't there. I didn't really watch most of the game, I'm going to be honest, so I'm asking you.
Honestly, they just couldn't score. Like,
Is the quarterback in a sophomore slump?
I don't think it's a sophomore slump as much as it is.
Just putting it all together.
Well, you know, they didn't have Isaiah, which hurts.
Right.
They were missing some people, but still.
But, you know, it don't matter. I learned it don't matter how many people you dress that day.
Yeah.
You could dress 8 on the field and still
You
win.
just got to want to win.
And honestly, Ruckus has played better than Broadax when depleted.
Right.
I've seen it before. And I'll say it again. Ruckus is not going to go down without a fight.
Yeah, that's facts.
People think Ruckus is dead. They're not dead. There's still something there. And as for Broadax, got a lot of questions going forward.
Yeah. I just told you to stop talking about Ruckus winning, Broadax losing, and we went right back
I'm
to
just-
Ruckus winning.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Anyway.
Anywho.
So you said that Ruckus came to play and that brought.
That was me just summarizing it, basically, at the end. But yeah, Broadax was flat. I think Broadax took him lightly.
They might not win because they didn't have Zeke.
It's definitely part of it.
Shout out to Zeke for Maddox.
Yeah, but you know, it's all about your best 9 playing with each other against their best 9.
Yup.
That's what it's about. Sometimes you got 8.
Dame Coates came out and balled out
He did
last
play well.
in overtime. And
From
well,
what
even
I
before
heard, he did play well. I didn't see it, so.
It was an awesome game, bro. You missed
Well, I
out on
heard
a
he
lot.
played well. It was like I said, I was working. Trying to watch it, but
It's okay, man. You were doing a good job.
thanks.
But it was a good game overall.
I'll sleep better since you told me that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad I can make your day brighter.
Thank you.
On
Any
to the next, Joey. Oh my god.
on to the final game of Saturday. Showtime versus program. Oh boy.
What's to talk about?
41-0 Showtime. This was an absolute beatdown. Showtime rolled up with about 17 and they just straight up finessed them. Like it was nothing. Eric Jones destroying the program secondary.
Yeah.
What a weapon he's become this season. We saw what he could do with Brunswick when he was with the Railroaders. Now we're seeing his full potential.
Yeah.
And he has developed into perhaps one of the best receivers in this league.
And
He's
so
a problem.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of, and you look at that game on Saturday, program got nothing going. Ant couldn't execute. He couldn't find open receivers. He was missing his guys. Some guys were dropping balls. Early on, it was a struggle. Program had a fight early in the game, but they were getting the boom.
Right.
They had Paget in the backfield and everything else. It was something they couldn't in the first stop, but then as the game went on, they adjusted, and it was just too easy for Showtime. They just straight up finessed them. Like it was nothing. And you got to wonder how this bodes for the rest of the league. Because right now, Showtime is sitting at a score of 74-0 through 2 games.
Wait, what?
They've outscored their opponents 74-0 in 2 games. Showtime is averaging 37 points per game in 7 quarters. They've given up 0 points all season.
Yeah. It'd be like that sometimes.
We'll see what happens as we take a look now
Do they play this weekend?
They do. But first, we got to get to the power rankings.
Oh boy, can't wait.
Oh boy.
Starting out with number 9, we got Pure Chaos. There's got to be some changes made fast.
Yeah.
The-
Somebody needs to take control of that team and just tell people this is the way it is. You got to feed Markel Simpkins, too. Look, I know he's been talking his shit, but let him talk his shit and then go out there and prove it. Because he's been known to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
Start from there. And work your way from there. They have the potential. They have the people.
I need to learn how to count. That
Yeah.
every freaking game drives me insane.
I recall
Only allowed to be 9 on the field, boys.
I recall the play where against Broadaxe, they lined up one defender on the left side against 2 receivers, and the guy was screaming, "Someone come over, someone come over." Nobody came over, and they were penalized with 10 on the field. They had a man advantage, but didn't put anybody over there in the 2-on-1 situation.
Yeah,
That play summarizes Pure Chaos' season so
that's
far.
bad. I remember watching that play too.
Yeah. But it's still early in their season. They're only 2 games in.
That's true. Young team.
Young team. We'll see
Like I
what
said,
can
they have
do.
experience though, so I don't know.
As Kenny Diener would say, they're young bucks.
It's 6-14.
We'll see what these young bucks can do going forward. Number 8 in the power rankings. Wow, I'm about to really say this, am I? I got to put the X-Dogs down there. The X-Dogs right now, 0-3. The worst start they've had in a decade.
It does hurt.
It is not looking good at the moment.
I know I put them at 9 like last week or week before or whatever, but like it hurt me to do that, but they just I don't know. Like the Patriots rebuilding year. Don't count them out though. At the end of the day.
I'm not going to count them out, but right now, there's not much momentum going for them.
I agree.
Like, what's there to really talk about that's going on right now for them?
They're the X-Dolls.
I mean, they've shown, they competed with you all, but, that was weeks ago. That was also, the second game of a doubleheader for you guys. You know, it's just. But at the same time, they're going to fight hard to the very end. But you look at the other losses, Broadax skunked them, Misfits beat them. It's not been a good season so far. I think this may be the worst X-Dogs team I have seen. And I've been watching the X-Dogs since 2014. 6 years, I think this is their worst team. But you know what? It all only matters what you do in November.
Yup.
Anything could change any moment, and I will not count out Matt Eisenberg. Right now, though, if that's what they got, though, barbecue chicken. Especially if they draw, because if they're sitting at the 8th seed, which they would be right now, they're looking at drawing Showtime in the quarterfinals.
Right.
If they could beat Pure Chaos.
That's rough. Real rough.
Just saying right now, I just don't see it with the X-Dogs. Number 7.
Who you got?
Who do I got? Program.
Yeah.
Program's slipping.
That's fair.
They are slipping. And now that I think about it, let me count in my head. Spartans, Warriors, Misfit. Oh, it's time for their mid-season review. It's midterm check for the X-Dogs. I'm sorry, I misspoke there. For the program. Happens.
They play 4 games too?
That's their 4th game. Here's what I'm saying. This offense has regressed.
Yes.
Tremendously. Right now, but you could say, you know, they face Warriors, Showtime, Misfits.
They do have a tough schedule.
One of the toughest.
Here on the front end of things. So
that's the top 3 teams in the league.
yeah.
And you know, they had a tough game with Spartans too. The problem is with the program right now is they haven't shown anything resembling that team they had in week 1 that won the game. Lost by 20 to the Warriors.
Right.
Lost by 41 in a game that wasn't finished to Showtime. And lost by 7 to Misfits. Not a bad game. That was probably the best game they played.
Yeah.
But you look at it, the offense, they scored 15 in the first game. You want to know what's scary? They've only scored 12 points since.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
And like the one score they even had against us was like a deep bomb, so.
And then you consider the one score they had against Misfits.
Probably the same thing.
Well,
I forget.
Ant's flag got pulled on that play. I witnessed it, and they counted it as a touchdown. You take that away, they're sitting at 6 points in 3 games, averaging 2 points per game. But, like I said, Misfits, Warriors,
They
Showtime.
are through their hardest part of their schedule, is what it sounds like.
They've gotten through the storm. They just got to get that offense clicking again.
Minecraft.
What about it?
Trying to get on my iPad.
He's trying to download it, I think. I don't think the school's going to let you do that.
Yeah, I think it's going to work, buddy. We had the board education don't allow that. Anyways, anyhow, anywho. The Cramley needs some kind of boost right now on offense. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think the defense is terrible. The defense has shown it can play. It looked good against the Spartans. It looked good against Misfits. The problem I'm seeing is just the offense can't get going right now. And that's what's going to hurt program going forward. They have to fix the offense.
They have no line, too. They did have another line. They're young, but they have another line.
So let's move along. Malcolm wants us to go to the next team.
All right. Fair enough.
Moving on, number 6. I'm going to have to put the Spartans here.
Shoot.
That's a compliment to the Spartans. I had them at number 9 a few weeks ago.
Yeah, hold on.
I had them buried.
Hold up.
I was going to bury them.
Something ain't right here.
What's wrong with it?
What's the program's record?
1
1 and 3.
And their one win is against who?
Spartans.
All right. So
So who looks better? So here's the thing.
what's the Spartans record?
So here's the thing. Is TJ Williams or Deion Page showing up for program next week?
That's true.
Because I swear both of them had both touchdowns.
That's not what I asked.
So it's a different team. Not the same team anymore.
All right, so I've already found a flaw in your power rating.
Continue on.
Need something to whine about. Here's the thing.
If it was by power rankings, I would switch these two. But go ahead. Spartans at what, 7?
Spartans are 6.
6.
Because they look like a better team on Saturday. I think if Spartans were to play program on Saturday, the Spartans would have won. The way they came out against Pure Chaos.
Okay.
I'm just saying right now, I think the Spartans are a better team. They're improving. I think it's just going to matter of what they could do. You got to think, their 2 losses are close. The Warriors game was a pick 6 at the end. Program, 3 points. They're not terrible.
True.
They're pulling it together. They're keen at pulling it together. Get it? Pulling.
I got it, Joey. It was
Okay.
pretty dorky, but
I try.
That was some punny shit.
What can I say? But anyhow, anyways, more on the Spartans after next week because their midterm's coming up too. We'll see that soon. Coming in now, number 5. I got Broad-X. Broad-X right now is a questionable team at times. And they're facing their worst start in years. Coming up this weekend, depending on how this Warriors game goes. In fact, Broad-X is 2-2. Let's take a look at their midterm.
True, they have played 4 games too.
Week 1 against X-Dogs, they looked great. I was sitting there saying, Broad-X is back. But, Misfits game, they had guys who were out with injuries, but Misfits came in and just gave it to them.
It was rough.
It was a rough game. And it's bad when Tivis gets a sack on his own quarterback.
I still want to go back and watch video of that.
Oh, it's amazing. He just flat out pancakes Timmy.
After we get done with this live show, Joey, that's what we're doing.
I gotta make a gif of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something with that.
I'm surprised Brock hasn't.
Oh, that's a great one. But
It's like the Mark Sanchez in reverse.
reverse butt fumble, the gut fumble. Oh, good times. But you look at it, week 1 it looked good. Week 2 against Misfits, a bit of a struggle. Week 3 against Chaos, back to form, but it's Chaos. It's not exactly a good measuring stick for success right now. But then you go back in against the Ruckus game, and it's like, should they have lost to Ruckus? I mean, they stole some really good players from Ruckus. They took Will Bray, they took Danny Longerbeam, they took Brandon Michael. They took 3 big pieces there, and they still lost to Ruckus.
Yeah.
They even took Ruckus' former quarterback, Steven Renner.
And Ruckus took that game personally, I think.
Ruckus came
Like I
in.
said, they wanted to win.
They were fired up.
I don't know how that Stars guy just missed that wide open net, but that just happened.
Happens.
Anyway, back to football.
Anyways, what I'm looking at right now with Broad-X is they can't lose games like the Ruckus game. They can't. They just can't. I mean, Ruckus didn't even have Adam. They ran with Marty, and Marty actually worked out really well. Who knew Marty Spruce was a quarterback at times?
Lying back there running around.
It works. And with Broadax, I don't know, man. They're a middle of the road team at the moment, and they're kind of swinging on a pendulum.
Yep.
They could be going 2-3 to start a season. When was the last time that happened?
I got a feeling they will be.
We'll see when we get to predictions.
I'm gonna be quiet over here. Be humble.
Moving on to number 4, we got Ruckus.
Ruckus.
Kind of a weird spot for the
Put
Orangemen.
themselves right. What? Where were they last week?
They were sitting at a 7th or 8th, but you know what?
Woo.
Major upset, big victory when they were down in numbers and down in people. They pulled it together against Broadax. You got to be proud of their effort right now.
By the way, I know Swagger got called LeBron and all that on that kick. And look, I'm not even trying to hype up Swagger. But look, that should have been a flag.
Oh, they
that
just
man
lit,
kicked
they
the ball.
lit
His
him
leg
up.
was still extended. He was up in the air, and that one dude ran right into his leg. But
Brian probably thought he was playing semi-pro for a second.
I'm just saying. You know me, man. I'm not, and Swagger knows me. I'm not even trying to hype up Swagger. He knows I'll never do that. He should have got the flag for that. If that was my kicker, I would have been out there arguing. I would have been yelling.
Yeah.
And I got the best flopping kicker in the league. I got the best kicker / flopping kicker in the league.
I would have called him a flopper. A lot of people seem to try to hurt Kyle.
He's been known to flop.
I don't know what you mean.
Look, me and him talked about it. He's good in my book for doing
Kyle's never boasted about flopping after a play.
it. I didn't say he boasted about it. I just said he's one of the best floppers in the league. But Swagger did not flop on that. He literally got ran into. Long story short, he got ran into. He should have got the flag. But good job, Ruckus. Beat Broadax. Moved right up, right in front of him in the power rankings too. Whew. Broadax gonna be salty this weekend.
I'm starting to wonder, is Ruckus a sleeper team right now? If they can get their pieces together. Here's the thing, no roster limits. Plenty of time to get more recruits. As we take a look at their midterm evaluation. First game, Misfits. Pretty good. Came out. They were fighting hard. They kept it close. Had a shot at the end. Gotta give them credit. They pulled it together. They looked really good in that game. But Showtime, on the other hand, that was a bit of a rough one. But when you start with Misfits, Showtime, and then Warriors, that's a lot of battle-tested games. You got to think, they've already played the 4 best teams outside of them this season. They've already got through the hard part of the schedule. And they came out 1-3, but didn't look bad against Misfits. Beat Broadax. The 2 games, and the first half against Warriors was close. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to get slept on, but they might.
Mm-hmm.
Rockets in playoffs get along pretty well, though.
Oh, yeah. Remember the semifinals a couple years ago? Knocked off Misfits.
They can do some things.
Got to the finals a couple years ago after beating Red Knights. Ruckus just knows how to pull it together. Moving on now to number 3.
Who you got?
I got the Warriors 4-0. We did your midterm last week. No need to go any further.
That's true.
Move along.
Move along.
Yo, Nick, that's from all the smoke. Trust me. Yeah.
You say you need a Manny or a Petty. No, Manny's the nails, right? Patty's the feet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if he's showing his feet on
Yeah,
screen,
I nailed that.
nasty.
Man, that's never a thing I'll ever do. Same for laying in bed while streaming.
Chris Tibbs is so annoying. I'm gonna say that loud and clear. Oh my gosh.
He's just misunderstood.
He just loves Ross. So
He's
much.
misunderstood.
Continue, Joey, with your dirty nails.
It's what I get for not at least grooming before I got here, but that's when I have to come straight from work. Basically, number one, to conclude it all. Two, sorry, I skipped the Misfits entirely. Number two right now is the Misfits. They're sitting at 4-0, I believe, finally. Yeah, they had, I'm counting the games in my head. First game, Ruckus. No, their first game was actually. Who was it? I'm trying to remember. I'm blanking. It's killing me.
Don't ask me.
I swear they played 4 up to this point.
We should be.
Why? I'm thinking. It's been a long day.
Joey did not come prepared for this.
No, I just blanked on who they played the first game against. Was it Broadaxe, Malcolm? Yeah, Broadaxe and Ruckus. Okay.
Yeah.
I can remember. Broadaxe and Ruckus. I knew they played Axe, but I thought that was the second game or third game for some reason. They had Broadaxe, they had Ruckus. Program, 4 games. First game going back, Broadaxe, they, like I said, they just absolutely beat them. Like it was nothing. That was an easy win for the Misfits. We saw early what they can do. Second game against Ruckus, bit of a struggle. But, back end of a doubleheader. You could say that. You could also say, Ruckus caught them off guard. Ruckus tends to play well against Misfits. We've seen that before in the past. Anything happens.
Ruckus plays their competition. They're like the Washington football team.
You know what? I think that's a fair comparison.
They're like the Redskins. The Washington football team does nothing but play in the second half, apparently.
Oh, yeah. True. True.
Ruckus is like the Redskins of old.
The Ruckus football team. But going back to Misfits, because we're talking about Misfits.
We are.
Third game they did was against Program. 13-6. It wasn't not exactly what we expected. They shut down the offense, but they didn't put up many points against them. And so right now, the way I'm looking at it, Misfits, they improved against X Dogs.
What's more to say? They're gonna have
a loaded roster come
when the
tournament
playoffs
time.
come roll around. Oh my goodness! Is there going to be enough room for spectators or family or anything on the sideline?
Family?
Did I say that?
Yes.
Did you say Cramley?
No, he
No,
said
no,
family.
Framley. I thought he said Cramley.
It still fits.
They're
It misfits.
gonna have a lot of people, and they're gonna be all really good. That's all I know. What they have left to show, we'll see. I think we'll see the cards on October 3rd. That's just me, though.
We're starting to get into mid-season form here.
Things are getting interesting. Moving on to number 1, Showtime 2-0. What more can we say? Showtime's just been dominant, man. They've been good. 2-0, 74-0, 37 points per game already.
When do they play Misfits?
October 3rd, 3 p.m. We will be live. I'm hyped.
That'll be a good one.
Oh, for sure. As we move along to predictions now. First game, Saturday morning. We got a 9 a.m. kickoff. It is going to be a good one. Really excited for it. Broadaxe Warriors, the game of the week. Number 3 versus number 5. Warriors have never beaten Broadaxe ever. Ever, ever. They've never come close to beating Broadaxe. Broadaxe owns the Warriors. Completely. I think this is going to be a better game, though. I think this is going to be the best game yet. Kevin Clancy versus Timmy Townsend. Student versus teacher. Here we go. This is going to be awesome, man. I'm hyped. This is going to be great. Warriors are about to face off in what is one of their biggest games in their franchise. They have to win against Broadax on Saturday, in my opinion.
That's facts. We better win. There is no other option over here. We win every game.
I mean,
What in tarnation did you? That was like literally the weirdest accent ever. Just bye.
he needs a cowboy hat with it.
Apparently.
Today is the 20th anniversary of Remember the Titans. So. What's the name of the coach over there for Titans in the movie? Coach what? Boone? There's a Coach Boone there. What?
There is a Coach Boone.
Look at that.
But it has nothing to do with our predictions of this game.
Yeah, I know. I
Anyways.
just came back into the room, Joey.
I know, I'm messing with your dog.
Had to deal with the kid back
Oh,
there.
snap. Tivis said he canceled his trip. He wants this game.
Tivis says a lot. There's one thing for sure this season. Tivis says a lot.
I just got to say, who can guard Tivis on that O-line for you guys?
Nobody. He's just the best person ever.
I tell you what, I've been digging deep to try to find an O-lineman that could guard him. So I think we'll be all right. But you never know. This Tivis. So I don't know. That's an interesting question, Joey. And I'll have to answer it like this. Nobody can guard Tivis.
Okay.
Not even Tivis. Actually, I think the only person that could guard Tivis
It's Tivis.
is Tivis.
That's the game. That's the matchup of the century. I love to see Tivis versus Tivis. One wears a Broadax jersey, the other in a Bullets jersey.
Dude, that's what he needs to do. He needs to do the half bullets,
So
half
Shane
broad.
says who can guard him.
You want to look on there, Tom?
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
He
snap.
found Joey Blaze's live.
I like it.
He added me today.
That's the question of the century. Who
You
can
done
guard
alright.
O'Shea?
No, I'm not done. Never done. This is gonna be a 10-hour stream.
Serious?
We're going till 5 a.m. Overnight with Joey Blaze. Anyways, who do I got winning this game? I got Warriors. I think the teacher beats the student here. I think Clancy and company come out. They put up the points. I'm not sure Broadax defense can hold up. Even with Tivis on the D line, they're going to need Zeke to at least cover his brother.
Who said Tivis versus Tivis? My money is it's on Tivis don't show up.
That's mean, guys.
There's a lot of matchups in this game.
There's a couple times.
Zeke versus brother.
Yep.
Yeah.
Teacher, student.
Zeke also ventured off from Broadax for a little bit to play for the Warriors last season, so or season before that, something like that. No, last season. This COVID thing's got me all messed up, man. The last true season we had. It's gonna be a good game. Is that game of the week?
That's game of the week, easily.
It's gotta be.
That is the best game this week. Broadax Warriors. What's at stake for the Warriors? Their best start in franchise history. 5-0 on the season. Times have changed here in the Washington County Flag Football League. Broadax is in danger of starting 2-3.
Have we ever beaten Broadax?
Never.
Never ever.
Thank you.
Have you ever?
That's what I thought.
28-6 last fall. We remember that game. It was not a good one for the Warriors.
Seems to always be our weirdest game.
Yeah, I'm laughing because
In Greencastle, we played them pretty well in the playoffs, though.
And you remember the time you played them in Greencastle, who was the quarterback for the Broadax? Kevin Clancy.
It wasn't my man Clancy.
Yep. I'm looking forward to this game. This is game of the week. And remember, a lot of more past history. Tyler Spencer playing his old team again. It's going to be good. I'm really excited. That's going to be the game of the week. Moving on now to the 10:30 kickoff. We got X-Dogs and Ruckus, which I think is a pretty good matchup itself. I think that's a good game.
It's the most interesting game of the week.
Yeah, that's the one where you look at, it can go either way with those two.
Mhm.
That's another one. Ruckus has never beaten X-Dogs. Ever. They've never gotten to win against the X-Dogs. They were close in 2018, actually. They lost 10-6. They were close last fall. They lost 12-7. They just can't seem to score enough points against the X-Dogs. Even the Summer Sizzler, they lost 20-0.
Yeah.
Can Adam Malott, though, get something going? I mean, you take a look at what Adam Malott has done so far and what he did against X-Dogs a couple years ago when he played them. I feel like there's a real good potential of a victory here for Ruckus. What do you think, Ross?
I think Malott is Ruckus' better bet against the X-Dogs. But if the X-Dogs show up with the bald-headed brothers playing D-line, I think Spruce is a better bet.
I think so. I think it's going to be one of those cases where
you got to play, well, like I just said, Ruckus likes to play their competition. So
well, it depends. Who is going to be quarterback? Will Adam be there? Will Marty be there?
Right.
It's a coin toss
You
at this
never
point.
know what Ruckus is going to show up with.
All they got, all they need.
Okay.
We'll see. Who do you got winning, Ross?
In this one?
Yeah.
I'm going to go X-Dogs.
I think I'm going to go Ruckus. I think the Orange get their first win against
That's a
X-Dogs.
tough call, man.
It's gonna be
I think it's going to come
Ruckus
down
has
to
been
the...
balling out. X-Dogs have not been balling out. Ugh, I'm still going to go X-Dogs. No disrespect to Ruckus. I know they all think I hate them, but I think the X-Dogs are putting something together, and I think this is the week they get a win.
I 100% agree.
No, you don't. You already picked
That Ruckus will win this game.
I'm going X-Dogs, man. I really think X-Dogs are going. I think X-Dogs are going to win this game.
I think Ruckus wins, man. I think Ruckus gets their first.
I mean,
I think they're due for
you
it,
almost
man.
kind of have to go with Ruckus, but I'm going X-Dogs.
We shall see.
I'm going with the underdogs.
Don't call
As
them that.
weird
The underdogs were a bad
As
team.
weird as that is, nah.
Underdogs were
As weird as
0
that is to
19 in
say,
county.
That's bad.
Never won a game. Moving on now to the third game of the day. We got Showtime versus Spartans. I think the Spartans will come out fighting. A couple of those guys on defense, they...
Spartans, I will be happy with you if you put up points.
I think
Put up some daggone points.
I think that Spartans score on Showtime this week.
I think they do too.
I think Keenan finds Thad in the end zone for a touchdown, and they get a point. But I also think that Showtime puts up 40.
40-6.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
that's what I'm thinking too. I got Showtime
But
big.
at the same time, there's not. Is there anything else going on football-wise?
The final game of the day.
OMF. Well, I mean, other than that, like OMFFL, there's no other county.
No, there's no tournaments.
No, nothing, right?
No.
Oh, Spartans might not score, though.
You think Spartans on score?
Yeah, I'm changing my mind. Showtime by a blowout again.
Yeah, I got Showtime big.
Much respect, Spartans, for what you did last week, but that was pure chaos compared to Showtime. And there's nothing else going on. Showtime gonna have full team? If Showtime has their full team, the Spartans ain't scoring.
I think Sparta puts a point up this week. I'm putting some faith in them.
I really hope they do, but I don't think they're going to.
We'll see. Final game of the day. We got a good one. Program and Pure Chaos. Who you got?
Program.
Really? You're going to dismiss them that easily?
Program.
I got Pure Chaos.
For real?
Depending on who plays quarterback.
Depending on who plays quarterback for who.
Pure chaos.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. This is a tough one.
No, it's not.
Neither team has looked that great the last few weeks.
It's not going to be 40-0 or whatever what Malcolm said, but program's going to win that game. Program's going to win that game.
I think they have to win that game. I think it depends who quarterback is. If it's Z-Man, I don't know if Z-Man can handle the pass rush. I don't know. I think the pass rush makes the difference. I mean, you got a good D-line and program. I think that's something that the O-line lacks when it comes to pure chaos. I'm going to have to go with program in the end. I just think program is too experienced to lose this game. They're way too experienced to lose this game. Like, you can't lose this game with your program. If you lose this game, then I don't know what to say. Right now, you're averaging a total of 4 points per game through 3 games. You have to do something this week.
Program's got that, man.
You got the Cramley?
Yeah, I do.
All right. I got Cramley, too.
Yeah.
And that concludes this portion of the broadcast. I'll be back in a minute for more stuff. I just have to step out for a moment. We'll be right back.